Most people think options are complicated. Covered calls are the only trade I actually call boring. And I mean that as the highest compliment I can give. Because boring is what pays me every single week. Green market, red market, it doesn't matter. So today, I'm going to show you the exact strategy, start to finish, no jargon, no hype, just the thing I actually do. What's up, everybody? If you're new here, I'm Don. I've been trading full time since 2015, and this channel is where I show you what actually works, not what looks good on a highlight reel. Last week, I talked about the mental model that changed everything for me. Right? It's the idea of stop being the gambler placing the bet and becoming the house taking the bet. If you saw that video, you know exactly where I'm going. Today, I'm going to show you the single strategy I use to be the house. Now, it's called a covered call, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand it better than 90% of the people out there teaching it, because most of them have never actually lived on this income. Now, I have for, I guess, 10 years now. Okay, so let's get into it. Here's why I always tell people to learn covered calls before anything else right now. It is the best place to start selling option, and here's why. Okay, you already own the stock. You're not borrowing anything. You're not taking on some scary unlimited risk position. You're not betting the account on a direction. You just own the shares. Shares you'd be happy to hold anyway, and you're simply getting paid extra on top of owning them. So I do this on all my investment shares. Okay. So think about that. You're getting paid to own stocks you were already going to own. Okay. Imagine getting paid for a limit order. That's what this is. And when I first understood that there was a way to squeeze income out of shares just sitting in my account, that genuinely felt like I'd found a cheat code. It felt too simple. You hear me on the streams call it free internet money. Okay. But before I show you the mechanics, I want to tell you where I first figured this out because it matters for how you should think about it. If you've been around this channel, you know I didn't start out as some Wall Street guy. I was working at Lifetime Fitness. I quit right at New Year's of January 2015, and then I never went back. Okay. Now between clients and all that, sitting at my desk, I was obsessed with one question: and how do the banks actually make money? Not the retail trader that always loses. The people who win over and over, quietly, boringly, and so consistently. So early on, I was swing trading to leverage ETFs in a very forgiving bull market. And I did fine, right? But it could be stressful. Everything depended on the direction being right. Every position was a prediction, and predictions, they come with a certain level of anxiety because you do still have to be right, and that's cool and all, but you're always focused on the next trade. Then I started actually selling options against positions I held, and the whole feeling changed. Because for the first time, I wasn't asking the market to do something for me. I already got paid for the moment. I opened the trade. Okay. Whether the stock went up a little sideways or nowhere at all, I already collected. That was the shift. That's when trading stopped feeling like gambling and started feeling like a business. Okay. And the covered call was the very first door into that. Okay. It's the one I'd send my younger self back to learn first every single time. Okay. So let me actually show you how it works. So a covered call, three moving parts. So stay with me, right? So part one, you own the shares. Now you need 100 shares of a stock or an ETF. One contract covers 100 shares. That's just how the option works. And it should be something stable, something you'd be comfortable holding through a rough month, an index ETF, a big steady blue chip, not some lottery ticket stock, like something boring, remember? Now, part two, you sell the call. You sell someone else the right to buy your 100 shares from you at a specific higher price by a specific date. That higher price is called the strike. That date is called, or so called the strike, right? Now that date is called the expiration, and for giving them that right, they hand you cash immediately. And now that cash is called premium, and it is yours to keep no matter what happens next. Okay. Now part three, you wait. Okay. One of two things is going to happen. Either the stock stays below your strike, the option expires worthless. Nobody takes your shares, and you keep all the premium and your stock still. So next week, you just do it again and again. It just like a carny. Let's try it again one more time. They're always out there trying to get your money, and it works every time. Okay, now the stock does climb above your strike. They exercise, they buy your shares at that price, and you walk away with the premium still, plus all the gains up on you made up to that strike. You made money. You just kind of capped how much. So one thing to know before we move on, these are American style options, which means the person who bought your call can technically exercise it early, any day they want. In practice, it almost never happens unless the call goes deep in the money. The one real trigger to watch is dividends. If you're selling calls on a stock that pays one, the day before ex dividend date is when early assignment actually shows up. So know that date. And that's it. And also, real quick, it's the OCC, the Options Clearing Corp. If you've ever noticed, like you're watching this video, you're watching someone else, and you realize they're not just giving you any like specific guidelines and rules, it's because there aren't any. Okay, now it's like they will literally just draw a line on an Excel doc and say exercise from here down. Okay, so I can't give you like a here's what happens if it gets this far because it doesn't exist. Now, the two questions everybody asks, how do I pick the strike and how do I pick the expiration? So I'll give you my actual rules. On the strike, I sell above where the stock is now. Okay, far enough that I'd genuinely be happy if it got called away at that price because that's the deal I'm making. A good rule when you're learning, pick a strike where you'd think, hey, if my share sold for that, I'm all right. I'm thrilled. Okay. That takes the emotions out of it. Hey, send it and you can have these shares. When you're feeling like that, you're good. Now, on the expiration, I stay short weekly to sometimes a month out. If it's management mode, sometimes I give it some time. A lot of times I really try for a week, maybe 2 weeks. The reason is something called just time decay. And the one piece of magic you need to understand, an option loses value as it gets closer to expiration. It's actually an exponential curve. It ramps up. And when the strike is anywhere near the stock's current actual trading, it loses that value faster in the final stretch. So when you're the seller, that decay works for you. Every day that passes, the thing you sold is worth a little less to buy back, which means you're winning. Shorter expirations let you collect that decay over and over instead of just once. That's the whole engine. Own it, sell the call, collect the premium, repeat. I mean, literally just rinse and repeat. Now, not gonna pretend this is free money, even though I do call it free internet money, because it isn't. And anybody who tells you it is probably selling you something. Okay. There are two real downsides to a covered call, and you need to hear both of them clearly. The first one is one everybody talks about. You cap your upside. If you sell a call with a strike 10% higher and the stock rockets 30% overnight on some news, you don't get that 30%. You get your 10% plus the premium, and your shares get called away. You watch the rest of that move happen without you. Technically, you already sold. You're just kind of waiting for it to happen. Okay. And I'll be honest, it kind of stings. Stung me that the first few times. You feel like you left money on the table. It's a lot of what if game. Oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Ignore it. I promise. Now, the second one, nobody's selling you a course wants to say out loud, the premium does not protect you from the stock going down. So if you own 100 shares and that stock drops 20%, collecting a premium worth 1% of that position does not save you. You still own the shares. You're still down, right? A covered call cushions you're down less, but it doesn't stop. That's the whole reason I keep saying pick something boring you'd be happy to hold anyways, because you're just going to hold it. Meta's my number one position. I love selling calls on Meta. Now, one more practical thing while being honest, if your shares get called away in a regular taxable brokerage account, that's a sale and it is a taxable event. Now, I'm not your accountant, so talk to whoever does your taxes before you build a whole income on top of this. There's a lot of things that I preach a lot. There's investing, there's trading, and then there's income. Those are like the three different styles or strategies. This is an income strategy, and when you try to pair that with your investing, you do open yourself up for this. Now, I have to pay taxes on all my gains anyway, so just something to take note of. Now, here's how I made peace with the capped upside, and it's the entire philosophy of this channel. I'm not trying to hit the home run. I'm trying to get paid reliably forever, right? So I gave up a ceiling I was never counting on in exchange for a floor I can build a life on. And once you internalize that trade, giving up the exciting maybe for the boring guaranteed, the strategy stops feeling like a compromise and starts feeling like freedom. Okay. Now, let me tell you what that floor actually bought me. Okay. I have three daughters. And when I left the gym and I traded full time, the thing that scared me wasn't losing a trade, it was the inconsistency, not knowing what any given week would pay. This is good weeks, great weeks, normal weeks, bad weeks, all the same. When we got three little people counting on you, I might make a lot or I might make nothing. Is not a plan. It's a knot in your stomach that kind of doesn't go away. Again, even if you had just the best day of your life, what's tomorrow going to bring? Covered calls are a big part of what untied that knot because every single week before the market does anything dramatic, there's already income in the account from the calls that I sold. Now, it showed up whether the market was green, red, doesn't ask my permission, it doesn't care about the news. And that is the reason I can sit calm at my desk while other traders are refreshing their screens at 3 in the morning, sweating every headline. I already got paid this week. The market doesn't owe me anything today. That's what boring buys you. It's not exciting. You'll never brag about it at a party, but it let me build a life for my family and something steadier than luck. And if you've got people counting on you too, I promise you that steadiness is worth more than any home run. So if you want to run your first covered call, here's exactly how I'd start. 3 steps. Step 1, you're going to own the 100 shares. Something boring, something stable, you're going to hold anyway. An index ETF is perfect for your first one. Don't do this on a stock you'd panic sell in a downturn. Okay, now step 2, you're going to sell one call, just one, at a strike above the current price. One where you genuinely be happy to let the shares go. Pick an expiration a week or two out, collect the premium. That's it. You're the house now. Okay. Now, step 3 is you're just going to watch what happens through expiration and feel the mechanics before you scale. Don't add a second contract until the first one has taught you how it moves. The lesson is worth more than the extra premium at this stage. Okay, and please do not walk in hunting the biggest premium on the board. That's the same smart guy trap I fell into for years. A fat premium is the market telling you that stock is risky. Walk in trying to understand the process. The consistent income comes once the mechanics click. It always does. Now, real quick, we are going to jump into the here we go. I want to just jump in real quick. So this is meta, right? So we've done the talking head thing. I've showed you everything. I like TOS because it's probably one of the best. Just they have it laid out. Okay, that's all I can say. As far as the options table goes, the courses that I do have, they're all on TOS. I've traded here a couple times. I can't the charts really do it for me. They don't have it. So can't complain. There's better stuff out there, but there is nothing comparing. I will say this: while I don't use them, nothing compares to TOS when it comes to their options chain. Because here's the expiration date. So at the time I'm recording this, it's July 24th. Okay, so this is expiring today. Here's Monday's July 27th. Now Meta has a lot of things have monthly, so it's just monthly only. Not gonna be very liquid. You probably don't want to. If it just has monthlies, don't do that. Now, if it just has weeklies, that's cool. So every Friday expiration, it'll even say weekly right here. Likely more popular. It doesn't always mean it is, but you're onto a better start. And now I sell weeklies. So let's go July 31st for Meta. Okay, now Meta right now is $5.94 a share. So if you went out and you bought 100 shares of this right now, $5.94. Okay, now you sell this call, the 600 strike call. Okay, you would sell. Here's the bid. So you just go market sell right now. Give me the bet. Just give me any dollar. I'll take the bottom price. That's $22.70 times 100. Okay, so that's $2,270 that you're going to collect. You're going to buy it at $5.94 and you're going to sell it at $600. So if by next Friday Meta closes at $600 or higher, you got five. We'll call it. Well, let's round up. Say it's $5.95. You made your $500 on your share appreciation, and then you made your $2,200. So there's $2,700 that you made just from that. Now, this is where people get upset because, oh, what if it shoots to 630? What if it does? What if it doesn't? What if it goes down to 570? You still collected your $2,200. This premium, that's the cash that's going into your account. So $22 options money is $2,200 cash because it's $22 times 100 shares. That's what it's controlling. Now, Thinkorswim is absolutely amazing because right now it tells you they're expecting a $51 move. That's $51 higher, $51 lower. So we can actually add to the strike here. Here we go, strikes. Let's go 36 strikes. Okay, now I always a quick general rule of thumb. I love selling the 20 delta, which is this one right here. So I would be selling, me personally, it'd be the 655s. 650, I know will have a lot more volume just because those whole numbers. So if we're just looking at it real quick, I would sell the 650s. It's a 22 delta. Now here'd be my volume. Now I know this because I do have these. Now if I did that right now, if I went out and bought my shares at 594, okay, I bought my 100 shares, I sold the 650, I would collect $745 for next week alone, just that by itself. Now, if Meta pushes all the way to 649.99, I keep my shares, plus I keep his $700. If it goes up to 620, it doesn't matter. I keep the $700 plus whatever my shares are still worth. So if it absolutely sends it, because it does have earnings at the time I'm recording this, absolutely sends it. It went up here. Yeah, you left a couple dollars on the table. I promise that just doesn't matter when you just compare it over the long run of how many am I going to sell. Because right now, delta is how much it's going to move per $1. So if Meta goes from 594 to 595, this contract is actually going to go up $18. That's how much it's going to be for you to sell. It's going to go up and down. This will move after you collect it. It's going to move up and down as the stock moves up and down. So this is going to be an expiration deal. Now, if Meta sells off, this goes from 745 all the way down to $4. You can buy it back, close it. Okay, you don't have to rock it to expiration. But that's what delta is. Just kind of how. Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong one. It's $22. So if Meta goes from 594 to 595, this contract is gonna bump up to 767. There you have it. You get an extra $22 if it goes up $1. Now you can also use deltas for, hey, what's going to happen? I'll tell you how much this contract's going to be worth. Hey, I want to sell the 650, but I think Meta's about to push $5. I think he's about to push $10. You can actually see how much your contract's going to be worth. If Meta goes from 595 to 605, these 650s will actually be worth about 840. So you're going to gain about $100 if you wait and it's right. So if you want to time it, you can. So if you want to wait for a pop and then sell it, you'll hear me talk about this all the time. I'm going to wait for a green pop and then I'll sell the call. The strike stays the same, but as it pumps, my money goes up, my premium. So I'll wait for that. But one more important thing that just really bugs me that nobody talks about. You know what this number is right now? This 22, I got a 22% chance that it actually gets that high. So if I'm playing the numbers game, 80 out of 100 trades that I take, I'm going to keep all that money. And that's it. And you've heard the statistic that, 85, 90% of options contracts expire worthless. A lot of these are. Because if it goes to this price, I got an 80% chance it gets to that price. That's still a 100% trade for me. It needs to exceed it. So if I collect $7 and it only goes up to $655, I still made more money than it would have been just to sell my shares at $655. It needs to go up at least $7.50 for me to even be like, oh, cool. I just sold early. This is getting paid for a limit order to sell your stock. Now we'll cover puts later in a later video, but I wanted to just, instead of doing a talking head, I wanted to show that for a little bit. Just kind of get on platform. Now, if I made covered calls finally click for you, do me a favor and smash the like button. It genuinely helps this get in front of more people who've been confused by everyone else's overcomplicated version, and it costs you nothing. And here's what I want to know in the comments. Have you ever sold a covered call before? Just, yes or no. Now, I'm going to read these, and it tells me kind of where everybody's at. Because next week, I'm covering the other half of the system, and that's cash-secured puts. It's how you get paid to buy the stock you want. And together with the covered calls, it forms a complete income wheel that I run. So you don't want to miss it. Now, that's it for today. Keep it boring, keep it simple and consistent. Right? And if you missed the old video, should be popping up right here. This is going to be a 4-part series, so make sure you watch them all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.